Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are joining the channel from. So if you are returning viewer, welcome back, and if you are a new viewer, welcome. Feel free to check out the channel. I know there's so many things like so many gaming videos here and there, and not one specific gaming video or anything. So as of right now, I'm playing GT7 and I'm taking part in the GT7 League, which is EnduroXperience. If you need any details, it'll be down in the description. And well, guys, give you a heads up. Yeah, my native language is not English, but I try my best to do the commentary as much as possible. And then, yeah, if I blabber, yeah, sorry for that. Anyway, let me check if the microphone is working and everything is. Hold on. All right, everything is in order. So welcome back, everyone. And this is Enduro Experience, event 7. This is the race number 7 of season 2, and it is a manufacturer championship. You select your car and you race with it for the entire season. So that is yeah, that is the theme, of course. And then of course, we have Tuesday sprints. We have 10 laps sprints, and it is a separate championship for everybody to take place who does not like endurance racing. But as the name suggests, it's enduro experience. So on Thursday nights, we have a 2 hour of endurance racing, and which is totally insane and a different type of a beast. If you follow endurance racing, you know that already. So because it's not a sprint, yeah, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon there. So it goes on for 2 hours, like I said. Of course, sorry to repeat that information, but yeah, it goes for 2 hours, and then strategies comes into play, different tire compounds. But we don't have any. Oh, there's a little rabbit on the track, on side of the track. Okay, that's new. I did not see that before. But anyway, yeah. Apart from that distraction, so yes, so we don't have any mandatory requirements for any tires or anything in this season. So it's just the cars. You just have to stick to your cars. That is it. There's no pit windows or anything. You can pit whenever you want. It doesn't matter. And then yeah, so that's basically it. If you need any information regards to Enduro Experience League, it is down in the description. But I will be updating that after the live stream. So this is a race replay, of course, and also I know what happened around me and what happened to me throughout the race, but I don't know what happened back of the pack or in front of the pack. So all these things, I don't know like what strategies everybody was on, and for the most part, I know what are the compounds that other used, but I don't know like for 100% sure. So last week I streamed, not the last week, I think 2 weeks ago I streamed the race number 6 that took place in Suzuka. So this is Watkin Glens. It is a famous track for of course it is featured in IMSA, and they have 6 week of sailing Watkins Glen. It took like I think a couple of weeks ago, and of course Acura Hypercar won the race overall, and I can't remember the rest of it. But anyway, yeah, it's a famous track, and it's a brutal track when it comes to track penalties of GT7, which is not really good, of course, in comparison to Assetto Corsa Competizione, if I pronounce that correctly. But anyway, so as you can see, we have almost a full grid here. So okay, let me go through the grid. I think this is, yeah, oh, no, okay, this is not as per the grid. This is not the starting grid order anyway, because I'm not second. I don't remember. I'm starting on P2 because Porsche is very weak in here, and Lexus and BMWs usually dominate this track, from what I know. Okay, anyway, let me go to the race replay, and I'll start on the grid. So I'll explain the drivers, because we have something called driver divisions. It is not 100% implemented just yet, but then it is there. I mean, hold on. Let me just play the race. All right, so let me go to the front of the pack. So I'll start from here. The driver division will take full effect next season, and we are yet to evaluate the drivers. So our league has been putting on the time trials, and people are still taking taking part on that. Is that what is the correct word? But anyway, yeah. So we are yet to evaluate the drivers, but this is from my basic understanding. All right. So this is from my basic understanding about the drivers and their pace. So I'll just roughly tell them like what they are depending on their sport GT7 sport um, rating as well. So anyway, so let's start with Addiction 26B. He was not present for the last few races, of course. He was there for two races so far, and this is his third race in the season. So Addiction 26B. So I'm gonna call him Ricky because that is his name, and yeah, it's not really. I mean, I'm not really comfortable calling him like 26B. But anyway, Ricky is a really good name. So let let me call him Ricky. So he is a pro division driver. There's no argument about that. But because he's in A or A plus ranks in GT7 Sports, so he's a pro driver. So we have three divisions. So let me explain that: pro am, and am. So we all know that pro drivers and pro amateur drivers and the amateur drivers. So anyway, that was the divisions that we have so far. So we have almost full grid. We have too short from a huge grade. I mean the full lobby. Yeah, yeah. So different drivers from different all three divisions are there. So Ricky is a pro driver. He takes pole position and he goes fastest in his Ferrari. But before the practice session lobby had a little bit of a restart because of a setting change. Before that, it was Mr. Voodoo was the one who was having the fastest lap. But then anyway, Ricky took the opportunity. Okay, let me get the fastest lap and get the pole. So in pole position, we have Mr. Ricky, and then at the second place, our fellow racer, fellow admin. Musi is a pro-am driver. He's in the team BMW. Yeah, Ricky in the team Ferrari. So that is what he raced for the last two races. So he has to stick to Ferrari. He cannot change the car anymore. I mean, yeah, those are simply that is just one rule. So the team BMW representing Musi. Maybe if you have followed the previous race, he was in a Lexus, but then if you watch the previous season, previous race, couple of race that I've posted on my channel, you know that Sigi, I've mentioned him the most improved driver on the grid, and I already told that he had a steering wheel issues for the last 2 weeks. Actually, he was having the issue for last 3 weeks in total, last three races, and then he decided to just disappear from the group, so he's no longer there. And Musi doesn't want to compete alone in a Lexus, but as you can see, we have a second Lexus there. But these guys are not consistent. I mean, they were there for two races, and then this is their third race. But Musi cannot like depend on that. Like he need a permanent partner who participates him in all the races. So anyway, so that was he switched to BMW with the permission of the race league admins, because it is totally understandable, but he has to leave his points on the Lexus behind. So he has his own points, yes, but the Lexus points that he made for Lexus will not be carried over to BMW. So he's on P2, so that dragged on for quite a while. Anyway, this is another driver. He's lead foot and he's in a pro division. He's in another BMW. BMW is getting really strong there, because as of right now we have four drivers in BMW, and yeah, it's gonna get ugly, right? But anyway, and then P4 we have Scott. He was another pro-am driver. So lead foot, did I mention he's a pro driver? Yeah, he's a very high ranked driver as well in GT7 Sport mode. And we have Scott here in P4, and he represents BMW as well, pro-am driver from Wales. And then we have Voodoo, who's on a Lexus, but he's mostly here for the points for himself, and I don't think he's in coordination with any of the Lexus drivers, even in the previous races. So that is that. So he's in a Lexus. He's a pro driver. Yeah, one of the fastest on the current grid. So as you can see, in the whole left whole left column is yeah, it's pro drivers. All right, and P6 myself, it was not really good for me during the qualify sessions. I mean, I had really bad pace in the qualifying. I had decent race pace. Race pace. I cannot say I had like really fast race pace within my division, of course. Just like the previous race in Suzuka, which I had a really good pace. I mean, I found so much pace in that track, but it was not the case for this track, so I ended up in P6 because there are faster drivers ahead of me. So, of course, yeah. So nothing much to blame on the car. It's just my skill level peaking, reaching my peak skill level, and then of course there's a little bit of contribution from the car as well because it's not the best car for this track. And then P7 we have Elvis Presley. He's also a pro driver. Well, I am a pro am driver. You can see there's a bumper sticker. Specially made by our admins for pro am division. Not just for pro am division. If you're in any other division, we have separate stickers that you can put on your car. So just a side note. So in Team Lamborghini, um, we have Elvis Presley, which is a pro driver again. You can see it's still the left column. Yeah, the left lane is seems to be all the faster drivers in the left. So yeah, Elvis Presley, I don't know what happened to him in the qualifying, but he was there. I don't know, maybe he did not have pace in the qualifying. So I was really glad to be ahead of another pro driver. Not another pro driver, ahead of a pro driver. So that's that. And then at P8 we have my teammate eh, Timo. So in the Rexy Porsche, while I'm on the Roxy Porsche, this is a really famous car in the IMSA series. Rexy, the green dinosaur. It's an icon in the motorsport world. So he's in pro. He has GTD Pro sticker because that comes with the livery. But as you can see in the middle, he's actually a pro am. So he's in the same division as me, and then we have Granti in a team BMW. So that sums up all four BMWs here. It's a powerhouse. The BMW team right now, it's unstoppable, almost unstoppable. But we try our best. So BMW, sorry for that. Yeah, team BMW. Yes. It's Granty, so he had a steering wheel issue, so he's using a controller for this race. But do not underestimate him on a controller. He's really good. Yeah, he's extremely good, and he's gonna come back at us with a steering wheel, which is a Fanatic DD Pro. Then we're gonna expect him to drop lap times really faster. So yeah, here we go. We have our fourth BMW driver, and he's in Pro Am division. And then we have representing Lamborghini Wutik, and I can't remember his name actually. I think Stefan. I think Stefan. Yeah, I think Stefan. I'm gonna call him Stefan. So yeah, he was with us for some of the races, but he never finished an endurance race ever. So far, he disconnects in the middle of the race, and then yeah. Anyway, oh, we have Salin sponsor stickers on the. You can see the on the barrier. Yeah, Salin Sixers. Watkins Glen, which was the IMSA event. It's pretty good to see that. I think that is the reference. Anyway, but in a team, yeah. So Wutik, yeah, Stefan, he's a pro-am driver from my eyes, but we have never seen him throughout a race, so it is really hard to judge. But it seems like he's yeah up there actually with us a pro-am when it comes to the pace. But I think he lacks consistency, and which gets him frustrated, and then I believe so because there's no point that you get disconnections on all the races like that. Maybe not. I don't want to judge anything, but yeah. So we have Falcon. We have Carlos Falcon. I'm gonna call him Falcon. Falcon or Carlos. Throughout the race, representing Team Super. He is an AM driver, and so far, but I think in Suzuka he had some pace, but it's really questionable. I mean, questionable as in my decision is questionable, not his pace. 100% not. So my pace is, sorry, my decision is actually questionable. So we need to evaluate him properly. Either he's gonna fit into Pro Am or Am. But yeah, he's for now in my eyes he's an Am driver, but he can be a Pro Am driver, but we don't know yet. And then we have Oscar, our consistent participants. I mean, these guys, Carlos joined last week as well, and then he's here this week as well. Really good drivers. I mean, really good drivers when it comes to discipline, and then they're really good members in our team who show up regularly. Of course, that's really encouraging for us as well to keep the league running. And then we have Oscar representing Team Ferrari, and he was there in our Barcelona race as well as Suzuka race as well. So he's an AM driver, and yeah. And then we have Dr. Katz. You met him in the last couple of races, and he's an AM driver representing Team Lamborghini again. So yeah, he's a Lamborghini driver. I haven't seen him in any other car. Anyway, but then if you have a new joiner who is Saif. I think he was there in the random sprint races. That's how Grant team met him, and so he maybe decided to take part, and he didn't know maybe that this is an endurance race. So we had two disconnection. One is for I'm just gonna mention early on. So one is Dr. Katz, Andre, because he had a issue with his paddles on his DD Pro wheel, so he had to disconnect because of that. And then Saif, we don't know. We don't know. Did he disconnect Saif? I think yeah. I think he disconnected at one point. So it was I think three disconnects in total because Stefan also gonna disconnect. So that's the grid. And let us go to our usual camera and then let us turn our race info. I'm really sorry that dragged on because I need to give a proper introduction to everybody, and then let's start the race. There we go. The three. What is that? Three lights? I think. And here we go. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We go racing right now, and BMW gets the better exit from the third one at the better start. But then you cannot underestimate because Ferrari has tremendous acceleration, but I think it lacks top speed. But anyway, they go side by side, and I think there was a slight tap when Ricky corrected the wheel. He slowed down a bit because he's a little bit confused on what happened, but it is just an unfortunate event. But oh, there we go. Myself and Voodoo and we go. We gets a little bit of ghosting. I think if there was no ghosting, then I'm gonna ram into Ricky right there. But anyway, thank God there's ghosting, and then I got hit by Voodoo there. I'm not quite sure what happened because I'm going the widest there. There's no way in hell I can go anywhere else because I was giving space to Mr. Elvis Presley. And then it turned out to be, maybe it looks like Voodoo also giving space to somebody else, but there were a lot of space there to go side by side, even 3 cars wide. So much action happening in the last lap, and then Musi drops into the last place because of that unfortunate event and all the incidents that has happened. It is with stewards as of right now. So let's just go and watch Ricky because he's in the front of the pack, and still everybody in a very much of a close proximity. And like I said, all the incidents are still with stewards and they are reviewing it, and then I cannot make any comment about any of the incidents until the stewards have come up with their decision. So we have a really good non-biased stewarding system, and so far we did not have any major issues in the league. Actually, we have a little bit of a close fight with who and who. I mean, there was a suggestion from my teammate Debo, hey, don't switch the cameras because there was a lot of flashes and stuff. All goes through both cars. I know there is an advantage and disadvantage for. Okay, 1.5 second penalty for Granty there, I think, for cutting the chicane. But anyway, I just want to say that there are advantages and disadvantages for having the ghosting on. Why we have the ghosting on? To stop the incidents, because you have seen, I mean, there was an incident from me. That's why the cards got ghosted there from Ricky, because Ricky slowed down, or I did not slow down enough, and then Gravity served 1.5 second penalty, and couple of drivers go through, including Timo. So let's see the fight between Timo and Guanti. I think Timo is really comfortable there with that penalty. He said, "Thank you very much for that. Got the chicane more often." So and then he goes by. So we get the indications of fastest lap. So as of right now, it is 1:54. It's gonna change from the next lap and onwards. And let me have my cappuccino for a bit. I'm feeling thirsty. So let me go back all the way up to Mr. Ricky, because Ricky and Voodoo is having a really close fight. Oh, there's a little bit of a bubble for Mr. Presley. I don't know whether he's on hard tires or what compound tires. I don't know, but I believe so. He's on hard compound, because I saw a couple of drivers in hard compound. But anyway, so Ricky is, for the most part, from what I've seen, I mean, he's a clean driver, because he's a higher rated driver. So they are most probably racing with the cleaner guys who have much more race discipline than us, the average folks. But yeah, anyway, so a lot of changes in the grid within that one lap. I think it is just an unfortunate event, but yeah, anyway, cannot say much more than that, because that is up to the stewards to decide. So then two Porsches are together, P6 and P7. That is myself and Timo, and then we have overtake done by Ricky. But Scott has the inside line for the next turn, and then also following closely behind Voodoo. But I think the better exit from Ricky there. But then, okay, you can see the side-by-side action with Scott and Voodoo as well here. Oh, these are pretty much heating up. Yeah, there was a really close racing here, and then there's great pace from the BMW driver. Scott, he's a Pro-Am driver, but then he seems to be showing, oh, go side by side. To the outside goes Voodoo, but oh, he gets the better exit out of there. That is wonderful. Job well done, Voodoo. Job well done from the outside. That's a great overtake by Voodoo. He gets the overtake done clean and sweet there, from what I've seen, at least. But then Scott is not giving up, and then Voodoo is defending so hard. So there was so much defending, defensive driving. It is, and then Scott seems to have fallen a little bit behind, and then comes Presley from behind of him, and he's all the way at the back of Scott. There's not much of a gap, but then Scott keeps to the line, and we have some changes, and then so Ricky goes up to P2 there. There's nothing much happening at the back of the grid, but we have to revisit Timo and I think Timo and Granty. Maybe they are close by, but as you can see, the field is the grid is a little bit scattered here. A grid or the field or whatever you call it. It's a little bit scattered, but yeah, this is still pretty much close racing. Almost touches the wall, Voodoo, right there at the exit, but yeah, he's having tremendous pace, and Leadwood is quite comfortably in the lead after that incident with the Musi and Ricky, because he got all the advantage there, because Ricky slowed down and everybody went past him, except for me, I believe. So far, I think, apart from that, oh, there was a wiggle or something just happened. But Scott, I don't know what is that. it looked like there was a little bit of an oversteer moment, and then there's the netcode playing the part, and then the rubber banding. Elvis Presley a little bit, I think. Apart from that, everybody is pretty much okay. We have a close fight. Oh, wait! I thought the lead foot goes through, but then inside there's Voodoo inside trying to get a move done, but it does not work. So this is two friends actually, Voodoo and Ricky. They are really good friends because they are representing the addiction crew. They are like a drift crew or something like that, but I'm not quite sure what is that about. Oh, almost Voodoo goes almost to rear end Ricky, so that's a moment, and then it takes the advantage. Scott takes the advantage there, goes to the inside and takes the move down even before the corner. That is pretty good stuff from Scott, and then closely followed by myself, and Elvis Presley is not all the way back, but he's totally, at the back of my race. He's back of my car. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm running out of words here, man. I need to watch more commentary and get some ideas on how to how to comment better. But I think from my standards, I think this is decent. I think at the best. But see, he's all over back of my car, Presley. Because he's a faster driver, he's a pro driver. I think he's on a hard compound. There's a little bit of a fight going on between Voodoo and Scott and Ricky and Ladyfoot. So I don't see any changes happening, but let's go to the front of the side by side. I think they goes, but the Ladyfoot goes defensive and keeps the car in perfect control. Same goes to Ricky. This is good racing, and then Scott is in front of Voodoo, but let's see that fight. I think I'll keep my camera on Scott for now. We have two separate packs right now. It is just the lead 4 cars and the rest of us. I think so. That is the lead 4 cars or 5-6 cars. This is pretty much close racing. Goes side by side. Ricky and Ladyfoot gets the lead. And Ricky has the inside for the next right-hander, so I think it is goes a little bit late. Is that a little bit of late braking? No, that is just my camera perspective. They both Ricky meets the apex, so there's no problem with that. Overtake is pretty clean. And then we have a side-by-side moment. I don't know, is that a push from Scott, or I think it is not. I hope it is not. But no harm done. Ladyfoot, I think, yeah, it is his net code. You can see that he's rubber banding a little bit there. And Scott is all over the back of that BMW. They are fighting so hard, and Scott gets the inside, meets the apex. There was a small touch, but that is rubbing, a little bit of a rubbing. They say rubbing is racing. I think maybe a slight push as well, but then Ladyfoot loses 3 places because of that exit. I don't know how to comment on that. We did not see any reports or anything. I think that is just clean racing, and then I think it's just a little bit of a defensive racing. But then again, Scott goes side by side, gets ghosted a couple of times. Voodoo goes wide. I go through. Scott gets through. I believe that's a clean pass from myself and everybody. He goes a little bit wide. That could have been a penalty for Voodoo. This racing is boiling down, isn't it? This is the most intense race that I've ever seen. We did not have any of the intense. This much of intensity in a race ever. I've been racing with these guys for quite some time now, because for us, for the most part, this is we only race with the pro-am drivers. We just, we did not have those faster drivers. The problem is now, when you get an overtake done, those are fast drivers. They're gonna come back at you. They're not gonna stop. So that is what is happening right now, I think, from what I can understand, because you can overtake them, but they're gonna come at you because they, by default, they have better pace than any of us. Even in a slower car, it doesn't matter what the car that they drive, they have better pace. But then in this case, Pro-Am driver Mr. Scott is showing tremendous pace, and Leadfoot goes back to P6, and I don't want to revisit any of that because yeah, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy that, watching that, but I think Leadfoot had some oversteer moments. I think this is one of them. I think it is safe to say that there was maybe a little bit of rubbing, but rubbing is racing, as I mentioned before. If I didn't, yeah, rubbing is racing, and everybody knows that. So the pack has scattered a little bit, goes addiction into the bus stop chicane, it goes out of control. What a timing that I switched the camera. He goes spinning, lose a lot of space, and everybody goes through up until P4. No, even a P5 goes, I mean, Leadfoot goes through. That was P6. So Ricky was having a really tough time with his tires. I think he lost control there just a bit, just a little bit too much. But he was in control for the most part. He was having a pretty good lead there. But then now the race has turned upside down. All the front runners, two front runners. Okay, Scott, I think I came a little bit close to Scott right there. But both of the front runners are no longer front runners. So Moses has the fastest lap, 147.018. I think that's a really good lap in this race. But I think we're gonna see some little bit of faster laps there, because the fastest that I have done in a practice session is 146.8. But that is not possible in a race. I mean, I have never done anything like that. So me and Scott is having a really close race here. I think Presley is having a really hard time there, having a lot of oversteer at the exit on top of the curb, which is a dangerous curb. And then if you go outside that curb a little bit, the tracks get really slippery. And yeah, and me in a completely different racing overall. Okay, I get ghosted a bit here, I think, because I did not brake correctly, I mean, at the race point, and then as a result I lose 2 positions there. That is completely my mistake. I think I come off the throttle because, oh, okay, no, I thought that Presley got past me, but it is not. But then anyway, we get yellow flags in front of us. I think that is that Mr. Katz over there in front? Yeah, that is Mr. Katz in front of us. He's having now the paddle problem, as you can see. I apologize. Ogie goes wide there. I think the brakes or something is not working, and his network connection, to me, the latency is not really good, and he's gonna, I think he's trying to keep the car. Oh no, oh no, oh no. He's gonna try to keep the car in a straight line, but he couldn't get it done. But yeah, let's go back to our front runners. I mean, I'm really sorry if I did not cover you as much in the race, because so much happening in the front of the back. You can see so much closer fights happening in the front of the back. It is really difficult to go back to the I mean, go to the middle of the pack. But anyway, let me just go all the way down to Granty. I think something happened to Granty, because Granty was he ahead of Timur or right behind of Timur? But I don't know. Here's the Leadfoot in the team BMW right behind my teammate Timo in the flaming Rexy, the dinosaur on fire. And then Timo is having a close fight right here with Ricky. Goes to the right, take a look at the inside, but it's not close enough. But then yeah, goes through the bus stop, all 3 of the drivers, and I don't think anything happening at the front of the back that is much interesting. I don't remember anything happening interesting there, because Woody is a fast driver by default, so he's fighting with Scott right there. And Scott is, like I said many times, maybe as of right now, showing tremendous pace. And then Yeah, he's having a great race right there, and then but then again, there were so many incidents in this race that should have not taken place, because when it comes to safety standards, this is the worst race we have ever had. Apart from that, we had clean races, but this is not one of them. I mean, it's clean for the 90% of the race, but then I'm sorry, like let's say 95% of the race, but there were some incidents that were questionable from some of the drivers. I think I think that includes me as well at one point, of course. But then again, some were honest mistakes and some were not so much, I guess. But then again, I don't know. Up to stewards to decide. So anyway, we are having. Let's go to the front of the pack. I think we don't have much happening, but let's move back of the pack a little bit. So this is lead foot at P7, and I don't see any changes happening in the front of the pack. So the 1, 2, 3 are pretty much the same, and I think Presley is in P4. Fast driver, I think he's running the hard tires. Goes wide a little bit to the grass, to the dirt. Mr. Leadfoot, and then we have Granty with another penalty, 0.5-second penalty. That is for track limits, of course. The track limits are horrible in this track, to say the least. I mean, GT7 you have to do really. I mean, GT7 has to do better when you compare some of the track penalties, because I've seen the replay, part of the replay before some of the moments, because you know. We were looking at the incidents and stuff like that. So I've seen where that somebody loses his braking point, goes wide, slows down out of the track. Yes, he slows down, but then rejoins the track really safely. There's no issues whatsoever, but then gets a 5.5-second penalty, half-second penalty, because I don't know what is that about, because the general rule in motorsports, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm watching WEC and I'm watching IMSA, and then sometimes even European Le Mans as well. The general rule is that the commentators say that if you goes out of the track, and then if you gain time out of the track, I think the same goes for Formula 1 as well, right? If I recall correctly, if you goes out the track and if you gain time out of the track, that's when the warning comes into play. It's not a penalty. It's not a direct penalty, of course. You should have been able to set these things. I mean, it's going to be a first warning, it's going to be the second warning, and then the third time it's going to be a penalty, because in Formula 1 that is what's happened. You'll be given a track limit warning, but I don't see the time evaluation happening on Formula 1 game either, because Formula 1 games, I don't know. I mean, that is Electronic Arts and Codemasters. I don't know what they're doing with those games. But yeah, anyway, but I've been racing with I've been playing Assetto Corsa Competition a little bit, and then every time I race on that one, I think I have done like couple of not couple of like career races, and then some practice races. Every time I goes out the track, it is evaluating whether you gain time or not, because it has happened to me. It has happened to me, and every time there is a message that no time gained off the track or something similar. And we have a drop from the race that will be Mr. Katz, and then let's go down the line a little bit to see the other drivers how they're doing. This is Musi, actually a recovery drive for him, and he was not having a great drive. No, he was having a great drive, but he did not have a great race there. Okay, Scott goes into the pits. I think I wanted to let me just rewind this, because I want to see I want to show you my incident. And here goes that I'm almost ruining Scott's pit entry, because I wanted to explain, I mean, what happens, I mean, the incident that involved me, I wanted to show those things as well, because I'm not a saint. I mean, I make mistakes as well in the race. So, but anyway, let's go down and the Mussy or to Orange Falcon. Let's see. There's a little bit of a change. I can see. Hold on. I'm really sorry for changing the drivers. I don't know what happens. Oh yeah, what happened here was that I goes and almost rear ends Scott there at the pit entry, and then Presley, as a result, he goes through. So let me explain. A little bit. It was never intentional. I mean, actually, I make a misjudge there, because Scott is, if you've seen our Barcelona race, if you've seen our Suzuka race, as you can see, Scott is somebody who knows how to manage tires, alright? So Scott is really good at managing tires, right? So he usually throughout the season, I think he is one of the drivers who have done really good stints. Longest stints, really good stints. So he's one of the drivers though who does long stints. So I was never in my life expecting him to pit that early. So I was right at the back of him. Not right at the back of him. There was a little bit of a gap, but then me, the stupid idiot, did not see that he's going to the pits, and then I turned into the apex. There was a little bit of a moment with Elvis Presley, but then, yeah, like I was saying, yeah, that is what caught me off guard, and I already apologized to him for my mistake. And Presley comes to the pit. I think he's not having a great time, was he? And I myself also comes to the pit. Of course, let's see how the strategy plays this one. Let's see a pit stop here. So me, it's those were 13 lap stints, so I will be refilling for 13 lap stints. I think he went into hard tires or what. I need to see, like, okay, Presley is in medium tires. He did medium tires, so I'm really happy that I had pace to go against him. He's a pro driver, so I think he was not having a good race anyway. So he goes to refill a full tank, and then myself half a tank, almost like pretty much enough to do a 13 lap stint. So. And then Orange Falcon as well comes to the pit, and this is the pit out of Presley, and he comes. Where am I? Okay, I'm through the SS right now, and Presley comes with a 3-second penalty because he slides his rear out of the pit lane. Line cutting the pit lane. This is one of the worst pit lane entries. I mean, I'm gonna say it. So he has missed the side with a 0.5-second penalty. Half a second penalty. I mean, I need to learn to say that half a second penalty. It sounds cool than 0.5 second. Yeah, half a second penalty. Now he's in a Mercedes. He does not have his he's not having enough pace in this one, and of course I think he did not practice as well, and he doesn't I think maybe no practice and maybe no strategy as well. But then this is endurance racing. You have to have a strategy. You have to have a like understanding how many laps that you're gonna run. But anyway, so far, apart from a couple of incidents, pretty much okay. We were pretty much racing with our elbows out, so I can say that was a lot of difference in driving. I think Oscar, this is not Oscar, sorry, Carlos gets a 3-second penalty, and all the way back at the back we have Oscar, one of the really good drivers, one of the drivers that I really like to race against. But then, yeah, he's in amateur division, but still, he doesn't give up. That's what we like to see. I mean, you don't give up. You have your own division. Here we go. Orange Falcon gets Carlos serves the penalty, and Oscar goes a little bit wide there. So now this gets a little bit of room for Carlos to catch up, because Supra is a really good car, really good pace with the Supra, and he's all the way at the back, all over the back of Oscar. You're looking to take advantage. So the lead goes to Mr. Voodoo. Seems to be doing a really good stint here. He's at the 15. I think he already started the 15th lap. And there we go. I think Carlos having a much better pace. Looks I mean, it looks like it. Carlos having much better pace. There was a lot of rubber banding going on because of the network. I apologize for that. It does not look really good, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, it's not like that in the real race, but then it's okay. So great pace from both of these guys, and they are in the same division. It goes a little bit inside to the dirt and gets a 0.5 second penalty, and it does not go really well with him, Oscar, because Orange Falcon, aka Carlos, capitalized on that. And Voodoo comes to the pit, the race leader comes to the pit, and then Leadfoot takes the lead. We have a new race leader, which is Mr. Leadfoot in his BMW. Like I said, yes, Carlos showed some tremendous pace in Suzuka, and I think everybody wants to improve. Yeah, of course. Then, I mean, we have drivers like Siggy who improved tremendously throughout, and then a driver like Oscar, I think he has the best equipment out there. He can improve. It's yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of a steer moment at the exit from the right-hander, and doesn't help him, Oscar, but then it gives a lot of breathing room to Orange Falcon. So let's go back to the front of the pack, and Leadfoot having a comfortable, I think maybe like a 5, 6, 7 seconds lead, and then the rest of the pack is pretty much tight, and Scott with his brand new set of tires, mediums, myself as well with a brand new set of mediums, and followed by Voodoo, who is a really fast driver. I think at one point I let him go because I don't want to keep fighting for the position and then make a mistake under that pressure, because of course I feel a lot of pressure when I'm right behind them as well. But then it's not really good for me to lose time because of a driver that is not even in my division. I mean, they're not in the same same league. I mean, not literally. They're in a totally different league. Here, the pace and the car, of course, well, is giving him that extra boost. And then we have P2, P3, P4 in a little bit of a close proximity, but then not that close enough. So, alright, I'm gonna take a maybe 30 seconds break. Let me check on my stream. Oh, Presley goes into the pits. I think he just pitted, right? Presley just pitted with the medium tires and came out with the hard tires, but I don't know what's going on with him. Let me just follow him. I mean, I just wanted to see like what happened. He just comes out from the pit. He just goes to the pit. Hold on, what happened here? Oh no, he changes the tires. Okay, he goes into the pits. What happened? He comes with the hard tires and then he changed the hard tires. Changed to hard tires again? Is it? Let me see. He comes out from the pit. I think he cuts the pit lane again. He got a 3-second penalty before, if I'm correct. There was a position change, of course. We're gonna look at that but let me just check on Presley, and he comes out with the medium tires. Okay, no refueling. I think he went to the hard tires by mistake. He comes out again, pits. I think that does not really worth it, isn't it? I mean, he's a fast driver. He could have easily kept with us with the medium tires. But anyway, let me rewind a couple of seconds here. All right, let me see Granty. There's Granty and there's Ricky. Oh, I think Ricky is getting the move done on Granty because obviously faster driver is the Ricky. Oh, there was a slight touch there, and it slowed down Granty a little bit. Granty 100%. He's a clean driver. Yeah, he's a really clean driver and somebody you love to race with. Gives a lot of respect, gives a lot of room, and a beautiful car, the most beautiful car as of right now. I mean, we are past the halfway point of the season, so that is what happened there because I wanted to see what happened. And then Timo is following him, not quite right behind, but he's in the. He's in there. But if any mistake from grant your Ricky. Yeah, Timo is right there to pick up the pieces. So let's go to the front of the pack, little by little. So I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds. Is it 10 seconds? I think 5 seconds. Enough, Timo. So I just. All right. So yeah, okay. Here we go. I'm really sorry about that. So I'm being followed by Voodoo, and I definitely know that he's the fastest driver in the grid compared to me. So we are still the same. We're having like, I think we have like the equal pace. Not Voodoo and me, but I think Scott and me. And Voodoo goes faster with a 1:46.7. That's a bonkers lap. That's a mega lap from him, and he's sniffing back of the car. But then I think I told him to go just pass, and then I think I lifted the throttle right there for a little bit, and I think so, given the gap that he made with that overtake, because I did not want to lose time fighting him. A driver, he's in a completely different division. But anyway, now Voodoo goes to take the fight to Scott. So let's see. Let's actually see what happens at the front of the pack. I'm really sorry if I'm missing some action at the back of the pack, because we have a whole grid scattered around the track. Goes a little bit of a Tokyo drifting for the second time as well. Is it new tires for him? I think a little bit of a new tires, but improving through the sectors. That was 59 thousandths of a second, I think so. But this is great racing so far, apart from a couple of the incidents. Yeah, and if you go, okay, improvement, hundredths of a second improved from Voodoo. He's getting those. Whoa, that was an headcord issue. He's getting most out of his new tires, and he's pushing so fast. Goes a little bit faster, 9 thousandths of a second faster than his previous lap. I think he's gonna keep improving. All right, I'm gonna take. I did not take the break that I say that I'm gonna take, and I'll check on the stream. Anyway, let me just. Alright guys, I'm back, and I just replayed the video on my phone to see everything is okay, but then there are sometimes the things that I talk about. I mean, I start something, I start to talk about something, and then I completely drift away from it, and then talks about something else. I mean, you must be like thinking, what the fuck this guy is doing. But anyway, I was because I recognized that I was talking about Grante's car, and then I tell like it is the halfway point into the season. What I wanted to say, it is halfway point into the season, and I haven't seen a better car throughout the season so far. So I'm yet to see a beautiful car that beats Grante's car. So I was about to say that, but then I drifted away, and then talking about something else completely. And yeah, while I was away, Voodoo is getting faster and faster throughout the sector. Is he gonna go fast? No, 200, almost 300 of a second slower than his fastest. But he has set the bar for everybody else, 146.616. This is the pro driver in a Lexus, a crazy car, which got nerfed recently, but then again, well, he's a faster driver than all of us, but then he's all over back of Scott. Goes hundredth of a second faster through the first sector, goes through the bus stop chicane, and keeps the car under control. Gets a better exit, but he's being patient there. I can see that, of course. and then gets Scott under pressure, puts Scott under pressure, goes sliding a little bit because he's having some hard time as well, you know, keeping the car. We saw him drifting a while ago, like 2 times at this exact corner. But then again, yeah, you can see that he has dropped 700ths of a second when he comes out from that second sector. How many sectors do we have? I think 4 sectors. I think 4 sectors. The first, let me count. 1, 2. Yeah, 1 and 2. The second sector start with almost right before the bus stop, and then yeah, there's 4 sectors. Yeah, from what I see. If not, I'm blind. The shortest sector is after the right hand uphill corner, and Leadfoot goes to the pit. He's on hard tires, does 20 laps. I mean, that's a pretty interesting strategy, isn't it? Right? Yeah, he goes to the pit and then does 20 laps on his hard tires, but I don't know the wear of the hard tires. I haven't even tested hard tires, but this is something something is gonna come into play from next season, because the next season hard tires are mandatory. All right, you have to have a stint with the hard tires. All right, and that's gonna change the strategy and everything, because for myself, in Barcelona I have ran soft tires. Apart from that, I've been running medium tires, because what's the point of if the tires getting chewed so hard on a track, there's no point of running soft tires and then getting like 5-6 laps out of it. And then this is close racing. Anyway, let me just switch the topic a little bit here, because we have a close race from these two guys. Goes a little bit wide, try to get the better exit, I think, from what I've seen, but Scott is still faster. I think he has a little bit of more acceleration out of the corner. The pace currently Scott is showing is similar to a pro driver. I think we need to consider. They go side by side outside. From the outside, it is Voodoo. Have a look, and then goes defensive, a little bit defensive there. Comes to the middle of the track. The rule is actually to go to your defensive line, whatever the line you take to defend. Go to the defensive line and stay there. That's the simple rule here. Okay, somebody joined and left. I think. Yeah, of course. Yeah, this is not interesting. Yeah, but anyway. Yeah. So this is really close racing. I think there was a slight touch there. This is getting really hot. I mean, this is getting really, really hot right now between these two. This is gonna get either it's gonna get a very good overtake. Looks to the outside, but there's no space. Goes defensive, Scott, and I mean, this is really close racing. This is intense, and I'm right there, all the way at the back. Is it gonna be a penalty for Voodoo? I think he goes a little bit wide there, but I think he's safe. I mean, I don't understand. Yeah, Gran Turismo 7's penalty for the most part, anyway. But then Voodoo is all over the back of Scott, and this fighting allows me to close the gap, because okay, now to the inside, I think is he inside? No, I think he's not inside completely, but Scott left the door open, goes inside Voodoo, and then but the next turn he has the outside. Does he have enough pace to make the move stick? Yes, he has, and goes to the inside. Oh, that was a little bit of pushing. Okay, I think this is that is a little bit nasty from Scott, I think. Yeah, I mean, these are also under the review of Stewart so far. A final verdict is yet to happen. I think this was, getting a little bit ambitious there, and I don't know what happened there. I mean, I wanted to look at it. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. Let's look at this from Scott's perspective. I mean, he gets cleanly taken by Voodoo right there. there was so much space in the track, but then yeah, I almost goes into the grass, and then yeah, that would have been. I mean, maybe if I went off the track for that, then that could have been a rage quit. Yeah, but no, yeah, I don't have a habit of rage quitting or anything. Yeah, that was something from Scott. I mean, Scott is, for the most part, is a really good guy. I cannot express that enough. I mean, we had the discussion in the party, but then ultimately, yeah, if you made the move, I mean, if it was me, if it is coming from me, of course, there's nothing for me to do. Scott can report it to the stewards, and then they will give the ultimate verdict. So it has happened, but it's okay. It's all right. I mean, I'll live. And goes wide at the bus stop chicane. Scott goes a little bit off the track and gets half a minute, half a second, half a second penalty. Yeah, half a second penalty is that, and then I think he was a little bit. I think because of the fight between Voodoo, I think he got a little bit frustrated, and I don't know why that happened. Anyway, and I don't know. So he serves a penalty, and that opens me a little bit of a gap and a breathing room, because Scott is a really fast driver, and like I said many times, he was a clean driver throughout the season. We have never had any issues, and we've been racing, and we've been making fun of each other. Even after the race and the party, we were having fun. Yeah, we were just having casual conversations and everything, but yeah, it is what it is, and I don't know what to say. It is what apart from it is what it is, but yeah. And then Scott goes to the pits at the 24th lap, so he seems to be doing 2 lap stints as of right now. From the medium, I think he goes to another medium as well, gets refueled. I think maybe, let's see how much he refuels. For 12 laps, probably. I think he should have stopped probably at 50 mark, 55, 60. So I think maybe he just have a little bit extra in the tank, and goes addiction past him at the pit lane. And where is Scott gonna come out? He's still in the pits, and yeah, comes out from the pits. Comes out from the pits a little bit ahead of Latefoot. Latefoot is having I mean, he's not having a bad net code. It's just my internet connection to him, so that is that's a little bit bad. And then immediately Scott goes defensive, because of course he wanted to defend that his position, and he knows that he has some great pace there, and goes defensive of his teammate. I mean, you cannot really, I mean, when it comes to the racing, there is no teammates or anything like that, but then when it comes to me and Timo, it's a completely different thing. I mean, yeah, we coordinate our overtakes. I mean, when we are side by side, and if somebody feels faster than the other, we just coordinate with each other. We are always in the chat, and we discuss, and then we get the overtakes done, because none of us, we really don't want to lose time, because ultimately it comes down, when you fight too much, it comes down to that you're gonna lose a lot of time. And we need every point. There goes wide a little bit, Timo there. Let me just focus the camera on him. I think he's gonna get a penalty for that. If you go the half a second penalty, a little bit brutal. Let me just check it. I mean, alright, he slows down a little bit, but it was not enough. He gets dragged onto it, and yeah, I mean, sometimes even if you slow down, I don't think that he slowed down enough there. But anyway, even though he slows down, because I've seen it with Saif, which who have already left at one time. I saw when I was checking the replay, he gets a penalty. Of course, he goes outside of the track, the same place, and then he slows down, obviously, to get the car back into the track, and he still gets the half a second penalty. I don't understand what you're doing, Polyphony. I'm not quite sure, but then Timo gets a penalty, so that means Scott has an opening to get close to him. So let's see what's going on here. So they come side by, not side by side. Yeah, nobody's go side by side. And then Grandy in front of them, and then that was a huge skid sound in front of me. I think that was Ricky, I think, because he was ahead of Grandy. Okay, goes to serve the penalty in this lap. So they are closing in, and Scott and Timo touched a little bit of grass, goes to a little bit of inside and outside both, and then if you go there almost back to back, I think Scott is gonna take this overtake done pretty easily, because he's gonna serve the penalty, and then there we go, moves to the right, does the right thing, Timo, right there, because when you serve a penalty you move to the right and you give the space to the car that is coming from behind. And we have right now is Leadfoot all the way at the back of Timo, and we all know that Leadfoot is a driver in the pro division, so he's probably gonna get this overtake done, isn't it? But it's not gonna be really easy. It's not gonna give up it really easily. So it is Voodoo as usual, top of the front of the pack, and then myself at P2, and then P3 it is Ricky, P4 Granty, and then Scott at P5, and then Timo P6, P7 Leadfoot, and then P8 Mussy. That is what I can see so far, and then goes to the inside. Leadfoot, I think this is gonna be, this is gonna be. Oh no, he goes wide. He has a lot of oversteer moment right there, but keeps it under control, doesn't ram into anybody. So goes defensive Timo in front of the bus stop chicane, but it is a side-by-side battle, but I think Leadfoot have to concede that one, have to let go of the throttle, and then because you cannot go side-by-side into the bus stop, and you're gonna ram into everybody, and you're gonna make a mess out of there. For the most part, the race has been clean for the most part, like I said, like 95% of the time. And then let's move to the front a little bit. Let's see, Voodoo is having a pretty good lead right here. I think he's having like a 5-second lead in front of me. And then there's myself, goes into the pit at lap number 26 for the fresh tires and for refuel, because this is our strategy to run 13 laps, and so we stick to that. And Ricky, I believe so, goes past me when I was in the pits, because they are in a different strategy completely. Yeah, there he goes. I think I'm exiting the pit lane, but I'm not quite there, so I think I'm gonna join the track. Let me see, is it right after? No, I think Scott gets the overtake done, and of course I'm gonna come out at P5 behind of Scott and Granty. So Scott and Granty, these two were the teammates throughout the session, throughout the season. But then let's see, because Scott is obviously having a better pace right there, and Granty gives the place, makes it easier for the teammate to get the switch done. But I don't remember Scott in the chat though. So he usually focuses more on the race and not in the party chat, but most of us were in the chat, and but anyway, gets the overtake done perfectly without any time loss, just like me and Timo, who got the overtake done. And Granty is another, like I said, like I mentioned before, Granty is an easy guy to race with, gives a lot of respect, gives a lot of room, but then again he goes clean and hard racing as well. So Scott is now fighting his way into the leaders, because he knows that he has the pace to fight with Ricky and of course maybe Voodoo as well. So in front we have the back markers. It's gonna be Oscar, and I think it's gonna be Oscar and Oscar, and who's the other person's name? The Orange Falcon is Carlos. Yeah, Carlos and Orange Falcon, but I don't remember fighting with Carlos. But I do remember overtaking Oscar. But Oscar also, like I've said, a really nice guy to race with, and gives you a lot of respect. Respects the blue flag a lot, and so it won't be much of a trouble to get this overtake done in any way. Goes through the bus stop chicane. Is Scott in his BMW, massive pace for him. It's a big race. Oh, goes really wide at the right-hander. I think he's gonna get a penalty for this one. Yeah, that is a half a second penalty. Yeah, 500. I was gonna say 500 of a second. Yeah, I need to remember that word to say half a second penalty. Yeah, gets a half a second penalty, but he was going to overtake Carlos there, but he's not gonna get it done this time. But he's not too far, and he obviously have a better pace compared to Carlos. Of course, Carlos in a completely different division compared to Scott. It comes Granty, of course, and then myself, Litford, and then Presley, and where's myself? Is that what happened to me there? I think I dropped from P6. No, I was P5, right? I have not sure what happened. Oh yeah, there was an incident for me. I missed a brake marker at the bus stop, I think. So yeah, yeah, it was a funny scenario. I mean, Granty was asking, I think somebody behind me, was it Presley or someone like that, and then he asked, like, what's the gap behind you? And then I checked the timer and I checked the gaps, and then I was telling him this is the gap, and then I didn't realize I'm coming to the bus stop chicane, and I missed my braking marker, almost ran into the Scott. But I mean, luckily for the ghosting there, so I'm not going to run into him anyway. But then I go straight, goes into grass and gets reset. I mean, yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, gets reset. I mean, that's a harsh one, because once you get reset, I mean, it should be. I think we should discuss that. Once you go into the crash, you should be able to revive yourself, just like a real race. I mean, not get resetted back into the track, which then you have to have another standing start, which in Porsche it's a really bad when it comes to standing start. So yeah, I don't know, maybe we can discuss that, maybe not, I don't know. So this is Timo and Musi. These two guys are, I mean, Musi is recovering from his lap 1 incident, and then definitely he has more pace. But then when it comes to the lap times, you can see that he's in a 48s for the most times, maybe a couple of lap 49s, and then maybe there's another lap for 221, and I don't know what happened there. Maybe there was a mistake. And then Ricky goes into the pits, and I think yeah, Timo is gonna get the overtake done here. He's refilling up to 71% of the tank. I think he's aiming for like 16 or 14 or 16, maybe 14 or 16 laps. I think it is 15 laps, I think so. Yeah, gets the overtake done. Oh yeah, as you can see, he's coming out of the pit lane, and yeah, he's definitely not gonna have enough pace to get in front of Timo there, but he's definitely coming out in front of Musi. And then there's myself. We are a little bit far away from the pack right now. I get some half a second penalty. Yeah, that's as I remember, I think I get a couple of penalties, like maybe a couple of half seconds and a second penalty. And Voodoo goes into the pit, the race leader, and Scott is going to be the new race leader. uh, at this moment. I think definitely he's gonna be the leader there, because I don't think. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not, because as you can see in the minimap to the right, top right corner in the screen, there's a minimap. As you can see, that is. Let me see. This is Scott now coming out of the pits, and no, sorry, this is Scott coming to the pits. I mean, in front of the pit straight. Sorry for that blabbering, but I don't think Voodoo has enough pace to get past him. Oh, is it? No, he has built a tremendous lead right there. Oh yeah, he's not a threat. Scott is not a threat for him. I mean, he had plenty of time to get out of the pits and get back into the lead. I mean, that is pretty sick, right? I mean, he's doing 15 laps. He's doing 15 laps from what I think, because he pitted at lap number 15, I guess. So, and then after that, now he comes into the pits at lap number 30, and then he's refilling up to what is that, 70% of the tank, as I remember. So that's like almost 15 laps of fuel. Go sliding a little bit. That's fresh rubber out from the garage. I mean, it's cold tires, so it's gonna be a little bit of a struggle. And then until he warm his tires, Scott gonna catch up to him. I mean, he's not that far if you think about it. It's like maybe like if maybe 4 or 5 seconds of a gap there. And then we have Leadfoot and myself in a really close proximity, and after myself it is Timo. But Timo, and who else is fighting here? Timo gets another half a second penalty. That's pretty hard. That is pretty bad for us. Team Porsche, yeah, moves to the right side, does the right thing, gives space when you serve the penalty. That's the gentleman rule, that you move to the right and give space to any of the cars that is coming behind you. But then you have all the right to move to the left side if you think that the person is not gonna gain on you or overtake you. So this is a close fight, of course. And then in front it is, let me just check. Yeah, me and Leadfoot. I don't think like I'm gaining on Leadfoot. And then after that, let me just check with Scott and Voodoo. It's not happening. Yeah, nothing is happening much. But then let's focus back into Timo and let's see Ricky, because Ricky is on a fresh set of tires and he's supposed to have a lot more pace compared to Timo with the fresh set of rubber. But then it's a Ferrari. But I think Ferrari has a better acceleration compared to the Porsche. Of course, all the other cars have better acceleration compared to Porsche. But then, but I don't think Ferrari has the top speed of the Porsche. Is it? I'm not quite sure how's the handling. But then Timo's favorite car is Group 3 car is Ferrari. But then I don't know for what reason that he went with the Porsche. But then yeah, I'm really glad that he did, because he's the one who's providing me with the setups, and all of his setups are so far pretty damn solid. And then it helped me throughout the race. Goes defending Timo, and I think he has this corner covered. Yeah, goes a little bit defensive and comes side by side, looks into the inside and gets the overtake done. There was a little bit of a ghosting and goes sideways. Ricky goes sideways and it was a little bit oversteer, but yeah, he gets the better exit. I think Timo slows down a little bit there, to be frank, to avoid any more collision, or even the collisions are ghosted, but then still, you just have to lift your throttle and then let the driver go. I mean, getting ghosted means that you are, if there were no ghosting, then you're gonna collide with the driver. So I think that's the right thing to do. Get off the throttle, give some space, because I mean, if he made a huge mistake, then that is something. And there was, I don't know. There was, I saw like a board, a Gran Turismo board, is somewhere not supposed to be on the track, on the other side of the track. But anyway, yeah, Ricky gets the overtake done, and so much action here. And then we have Presley right here, goes through the bus stop chicane, and I don't think he's having good pace here, regardless that he's a faster driver overall. And then Musi at P7. I think this could be a genuine overtake, or I think this could be because of the pit strategy. Does not count out pit lane overtakes, because that is also a part of endurance racing. It doesn't matter, it's a legit overtake on the track. If you are overtaking somebody when they're in the pit lane, well, that is your strategy comes into the play, and you're doing a good job with the strategy, which is very much part of the race, and you have all the credits for that, for performing a really good strategy. We are at 1 hour mark at the race, and I hope my connection stays stable and won't have any disruptions for me to continue with the stream. And then if anything happens, then I think I'm gonna make it like part 1, I think. Something like that, and then I'm gonna stream the next one I think a little bit later when the network gets stable. I think Musi at lap 21, I think he had an issue there. I mean, I wish I can go back and watch it, but then I think he had an issue, because if that is a pit entry or a pit exit, it's a, yeah, you're gonna see that properly reflected with two laps getting the times a longer time period than your usual laps, because right here the 27th lap before the 26th lap is 1:49. That is a similar time, of course. I mean, you can be in 48s, 49s, but then you can see the lap number 28 has done 1:47, but in the lap number 27, that is a 2:21, I think he had a spin or something there. Something definitely happened. Let's go to the front of the pack, and let's see where everybody is. And this is myself. Scott comes into the pits 34th lap. Is it not supposed to be 36? I mean, after 24, after lap number 24, if you are doing 12 lap stints, the next one is gonna be 36, right? But then he comes in after 10 laps. I think that gives us the lead temporarily. Yeah, okay. And then Voodoo is a league ahead of me. I mean, there's no point of I'm even watching this for myself, because I mean, we are definitely not gonna I mean, I'm definitely not gonna catch up to this guy right here. So let's see if you have any close racing going on. I think Battle the Pack, of course. There are a couple of close racing going on. Okay, there's Scott, and then there is Timo. Let's see this fight. I think it is safe to say that Scott has a little bit of a pace advantage with his BMW, and Timo being in the Porsche. But I think Scott has shown great pace in the race, saying that he can go up against pro drivers as well. Let's look into this, and let's look into Scott and Timo. Lap number 35, we are at 1 hour 3 minute mark, 1 hour 4 minute mark as of right now, and we have 1 more hour to go for the race finish. It's a 2-hour race, obviously, like I've mentioned. So lap number 35, and I think we are gonna run like 65 laps, given the pace of everybody. Anyways, I think that the fastest lap 1:46.616. Yeah, I think that's the lap. Yes, and touches the wall at the exit, and that makes it a little bit difficult, because Scott is right there to collect pieces. If you make any mistakes, Scott is right behind you. There was a slight touch to the wall, but it's everybody's trying to maximize the track limits. Goes defensive Timo here, and a little bit of a side-by-side moment with these two, but no contact so far. It's I think it's great racing from both of them. Scott has lifted the throttle a little bit there, and yeah. But it's closer than ever, really closer than ever, Scott and Timo. Goes through the bus stop chicane, because this is the closest action as of right now we have. And I think Leadfoot and myself have a little bit of a gap there. And then the gap to Voodoo is really big. Goes through the long right-hander down the hill, and then you have a long left-hander down the hill, and then long right-hander up the hill. And they are, well, Scott is actually looking into find some space. Timo goes a little bit, is he going defensive there? No, he's not, actually, he's not. I think he felt that he is safe, and he has a little bit of a gap there. So I think that is all fair. Yeah, still on the racing line, everybody, and I think gets a better exit this time. But then the BMW, here we go, side by side, and Presley, of course, putting a little bit of pressure at the back of Scott, and Scott went defensive a little bit there. But yeah, all three drivers here, they are really close. They are really close, I tell you. I mean, this is some intense racing. Goes to the outside, but not quite enough pace. I think not quite got the run down, I think, through the straight there, Scott. But then Presley is putting pressure at Scott. I mean, yes, Presley is a pro driver, I think so. If he's a driver, yeah, you're definitely a pro driver. Goes to the right, goes to the left. There was a little bit of a weaving. I'm not sure what that was about, or heating the tires or something. I'm not sure. Here comes Scott through the long right-hander. Looks to the outside a little bit, then goes side by side through the outside and not getting... is he gonna get enough exit? No, he's not gonna get enough exit. But then that's when the pressure comes from Presley, because you two are fighting, of course, and then Presley got the place back throughout the long right-hander, I think. Yeah, because that's what happens when you two fights for a long time. The driver at the back gets the... So that was a really late move by Scott. Goes outside for a little bit, but then Presley go for the classic old switcheroo and keeps the place. That was a really late lunge. I just want to see that. I mean, I really wanted to see that from where is Scott? Scott is right here, of course. Whoa, brakes a little late, and he did not make that, almost did not make that corner. That was, I think, pretty aggressive. I mean, that's a pretty damn aggressive move there by Scott. But then Presley, of course, he's an A driver, like I said, so he knows better than that to control that. But then Presley is now all over the back of Timo's green Rexy. Did he had a better pace to go side by side with Timo? As of right now, there is none, but let's say if there is a late break move. But Scott is still there. I mean, he's not gonna give up that easily. Yeah, that could have been anything. I mean, from my point of view, from what I've seen, it was a little bit of a late lunch, but I'm not the best to comment on that. But anyway, it could have been like, I mean, he have missed his brake line or something like that. Mistakes can be happen. Oh, what the hell? When did when did Presley goes in front? I think. Oh, yeah. I think he got a better run. Yeah, better run from the turn one, and then there he goes past Timo, of course, a pro driver, and had better pace, of course, and yeah, gets the overtake done, goes up to P5, and we have now Timo and Scott. I think Scott is closing. I'm not quite sure what's the line to take at this turn. I was struggling throughout the race. Oh, that was a late lunge there. That was I. Okay, hold on, hold your horses. Let me look at this. I mean, he goes to the outside a little bit, I think so. He's trying the outside, but then he goes to the inside. But oh, mate, absolutely. There's no gap right there. I mean, there's no gap. There was not enough gap there to get that overtake done. I don't know. And then Presley comes and takes that place back once again. Honestly, don't know. I mean, there was no space. I mean, I don't know. You missed your breakpoint or whatever that is, but that was a push. That was a legit push, and Timo and Presley go side by side, but then yeah, he did not get that place back, and yeah, up to stewards to discuss what happened. For me, it feels like there was no space in hell to get that overtake done. It was just push the Porsche a little bit, and then looks like he made the space by using a little bit of a force. It looked like that, but then I don't know what these stewards have to say about that, because I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I mean, these kinds of things have never happened. Should have left the throttle. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's a pretty bad one. In all honesty, because it did not look good in any of the angle, in any of the any possible way. It did not look good. Yeah. And then we have Ricky in front of the pack, and then we have Ladyfoot and myself. I think I have gained a little bit of ground on Ladyfoot, and then yeah, Voodoo just overtook Oscar. Oscar is now getting lapped. Yeah, so there was nothing much happening anyway, apart from those two. And there's two cars close, in very close proximity. I think that is Scott and yeah, Scott and Presley. So we're just gonna follow these guys for the moment, because Latefoot goes into the pits with the hard tires. I think that's why I think that is why that I've pulled the gap on him, because he's using the hard tires and I'm on the medium compound. So but that was a great I mean, it's we love to see that people use the other compounds, but Presley is still at the back of Scott, and I think Timo dropped down a little bit and he comes to the pit, because that's the Porsche strategy for now. Yeah, so each 13 laps we're gonna go into the pits. So that is the lap number 39 that we comes to the pits, and I come out ahead of Granty from the pits, and then Ladyfoot gonna come ahead of Timo, obviously, because they went. Although I think Mercy, yeah, Timo did not manage to come out ahead of Mercy, so Mercy takes that place back, makes the overtake when Timo is in the pits. So I think there was nothing happening in here as well. Let's go back to the grid a little bit and see what is happening here. This is Granty. Nice and really beautiful car. And then this is another BMW Leadfoot. He just came out from the pit. He kept the place, I think. And then there's Mussy in the BMW. He came right ahead of Timo, and I think there is quite a big gap to Timo. So yeah, it's pretty safe to say that he had plenty of time to make that overtake. And Oscar goes into the pits, and he was on softs. Is he gonna come out of the soft? I think he's gonna come out of the pits with soft. I mean, why is he in the pits? He had enough fuel. I think he's run out of softs. I mean, softs is a pretty bad tire. I mean, in general, the tire is pretty bad on this race. That has to be said, because we are not getting, like, I think we are maximum we can do like 6-7 laps, and then he goes to the hard compound. That's brave. I mean, from soft to hard, I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, for the most part, if I'm being honest, apart from the medium compound, I'm not really good with any other compound at all. Yeah, because I suck on the soft compound. I cannot get racy with that, because I need to adjust my brake lines, but then I fail to adjust my braking points, and then the lines to take, of course. I think I make the mistake of running the same braking points on the same racing line as the medium compound. So let's take a look at the fight at the back, and Carlos get blue flagged here by Ricky. Ricky is lapping Carlos now, and then the gap between Carlos and Oscar is pretty significant, because, well, he just came out from the pit. I think that was an unnecessary pit, in my opinion. But then you're free to do whatever you do in the race, so it's not up to me. I mean, he could have come out from the pit without refueling. So I think, yeah, people are still figuring out like what to do with the pits, and how the strategy, how to get the strategy right. I mean, I'm glad that for us the strategy has been working really nice. And Addiction Boy is at the top, but then look at the lead between these two guys. Yeah, Voodoo's having a crazy race here, and great pace. I don't think at any moment that he's gonna concede that lead, because he's getting faster and faster, and even after a pit stop, I think he can comfortably come out in front. So that is pretty good pace. And then we have Scott right here, all the way back. So I think there's not much he can do as well, because he's running shorter stints. He ran a 10 lap stint. And Presley right here goes, I think, touches the wall, and I think he's supposed to get a penalty here. Half a second, I think so, but I'm not quite sure. But no, I think he was safe there, because from my point of view, I've seen like he's running into the wall, but then maybe he's not. All right, I'm gonna be back. Enjoy the race. Okay, I'm back. That is now 17 minutes past the 1 hour mark. Let me just check on my stream as well, because I wanted to see everything is okay. Okay, the stream is good. I think the microphone level is too high for this one. I should have. I think I need to drop it a little bit on the next one. So we have a battle, I think, brewing between Leadfoot and Granty. But then again, I have to mention this: Granty is a pro-am driver, while Leadfoot probably be an AM driver. Goes a little bit wide there. I think he wanted to get the better exit, but he's still wide at the exit as well. So. Let's see what it's gonna be. I mean, we want to see the action. We want to see the action as much as everybody. I mean, for me, either it's an iRacing league or iRacing event or any of the online event, or either it's gonna be. I mean, even if it is a real race as well, Formula One endurance, doesn't matter whatever that is. I wanted to see. I mean, I sometimes watch, of course, like some of the online event as well, like the I think 24 hours of Daytona on iRacing. I watched that once, and then I watched 24 Hours Nürburgring where Max Verstappen took place. Yeah, the one he won, of course. And then I watched that as well, and then there was one more 24-hour race as well. I mean, he did last year before the Imola. I can't remember what is that. Is that the Nürburgring? I just cannot remember exactly. But then again, yeah, we want to see action. We want to see fights. Granty is now gonna overtake Oscar. Yes, Oscar's been shown the blue flag. You can see the blue lights are going on. The blue flags are going on, and then I think Oscar, there is no trouble overtaking Oscar because he gives you the right of way. Here we go. Moves to the left and gives the space for both the drivers to go. Goes a little bit wide, compromises his line, gives the way for both the drivers. Well done, Oscar. Much respect to you. I mean, cannot say that enough. I mean, yeah. Every time he's been shown the blue flags, and it's definitely. I mean, he's gonna give the respect for that. Not the. Did I say the red? Did I say red flag or the blue flag? Anyway, yeah. Whenever he's been shown the blue flag, yeah, he's giving a lot of respect, and but I've mentioned many times. I think before, or at least a couple of times in the chat in our league, that it should not be like Formula One, right? Because in motorsport racing, if you're a back marker, you are not entitled to give way. All right, because what you're supposed to do is you should be predictable and you should stick to the line. While, hold on, Ricky goes. Okay, 45 laps now, 1 hour and 21 minutes into the race. I think Ricky goes to the hard compound, and then we have 20 laps in the race, I think so. Yeah, I think it's either 65 laps or 66 laps, but I think they're also looking at that, and then I think that's why he's going to the hard tire. And I think he runs this hard tire to the end of the race, I think, because he refueled 100%, and because he's gonna get the track position as well, because we are at the lap 45, and myself and Scott also. Let me see where we are at. Yeah, myself and Scott as well, and have either one or two more pit stops to be made. Yeah, so yeah, because 100%, because I have to pit at lap number 52, and that would be my last pit stop. And then Scott was running 12 laps, 10 laps. I think I've seen him run at 10 laps, and then I think he has at least one more pit stop. 100%, that's for sure. And then I think he's on all tires, I guess so. As of right now, I can see that I'm closing the gap on him. let's switch to Scott's perspective. Goes into the bus stop chicane, and it is getting pretty close there, out there. Keeps neat and tidy through the chicane, and my line is a little bit of a deeper line here because I wanted to then go into the exit and get the better exit, but I don't know if that's the correct line as well. And we are almost back to back here. And I'm looking for an opportunity, at least. I mean, like maybe get. And there it is. I see the opening, and I goes. What? And okay, there was a little bit of a rubbing there. I don't know what that is. I think I retaliated there a little bit. Yeah, I don't know what that is with the Scott. I mean with Scott. I mean there was. Let's see that again. I think. I mean, I get the better run here. He left the space inside. There was clearly space inside, and I don't think it is any irrational. But you can see the wheel banging there. Goes to side by side again. Then I retaliate. I think a little bit there because I mean there was a lot of track. Hold on, let me just check it again. I'm really sorry about that. I just want to see how much space he has. He has a pretty much a lot of space. For that, because I mean you know, then there's then the force, of course, you know, when he pushes me to the side, and then I'm gonna hold my wheel against him, and then once he go to the other side, then my car's gonna automatically move to his side again. But then I don't know what that was. Up to debate for with the stewards because I honestly don't know what is up with that. But anyway, it is what it is. That is all I can say. And we go into the lap number 47. We just crossed the lap number 47. Voodoo is in a totally different league. You can see. I think he's now taking over the back markers. Oh no, Voodoo is right in front. Okay, I think Voodoo is coming from the pits right now. I think he did, and I don't think he feel any threat there. I mean, these guys are pro drivers, so I mean at this very moment, all the points are shared between all the drivers. All right, but then moving forward in the third season and onwards, they're gonna be a pro category, they're gonna be a pro am category, and then they're gonna be an am category. So it's gonna be, points will be divided to each and everybody in their category. So because we wanted to make racing fair for everybody, because like let's say now as of right now it is, let me check, yeah, it is Carlos. I mean, they have a pretty much of a big gap there between Carlos and Oscar. But then imagine Oscar improves and then he takes the fight to Carlos, right? Okay, I know that there's only two drivers so far in that category in this race, but we have more drivers, of course, who are actually in the AM category or the amateur category. Okay, Scott goes into the pits at lap number 48. I think he definitely have another pit as well, not this one, unless he goes full fuel and maybe like hard tires or something. I'm not quite sure how he's gonna do it. Let me see that he goes up to how much fuel. He goes up to half a tank of fuel, and then Granty follows him really closely, and then yeah, here we go. I think he definitely have another stint because he's not having enough to go up to the end of the race. And then we have myself and Voodoo. I don't think I have any pace to take Voodoo here, because Voodoo doesn't put a foot wrong in this, and then he lines up. I'm constantly looking at the timer, and I can see, okay, this guy's going faster and faster. Yeah, my tires are going well, I think now my tires will be at 70% mark. I think 65 or 70% mark. Anyway, so I have a pit coming up, and it's getting really closer, and then it's getting not so close as well. But yeah, I don't think I have the pace. No, not I don't think, I know I don't have the pace. But anyway, because you have to stay as close as possible to capitalize in any case if they get a penalty, or if they get make a mistake, which is highly unlikely when it comes to the pro drivers. We should stay there to maximize that. But the he's in a Lexus, so I mean it's a night and day difference. I mean it's only slightly slower around the corners, but then anyway, so that is that. And I think there will be a couple of fights in the middle of the pack. Let me just go down. I'm really sorry for we have Ricky, we have Scott, and then yeah, we have Oscar in between, and then we have Timo, we have Granty at P8, and then we have Musi and Granty. All right, I think it's gonna be a good fight, hopefully. All right, so yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, the divisions, like let's say those two guys, they cannot be at the end of the pack all the time, right? I mean, that is discouraging for those guys. I mean, let's say you're in your division, you're first, right? Okay, let's give you that points, right? So there will be like 3 separate mini championships where the drivers will get recognized. Okay, this is the driver, this is champion, this is the driver champions. I mean, the next season it's not going to be a manufacturer's championship, so it'll be a driver's championship only, not like this one, not like the current season. So all right, let's give them that that chance, right? Okay, you are the driver champion of pro category, you are the driver champion of pro am category, and you are the driver champion of am category. So they have something worth to fight for, right? I mean, they have something to race for in their category. I know even when you go to like pro category, I mean, it's mostly like B-rated driver. I mean, bottom of the B, or somewhere C or D. Not D. I think it is C and D, something like that. Because when it comes to Gran Turismo, we have S-rated drivers, which are, I mean, barely seen. So they have A plus and A, and then top half of the B. I think those are pretty safe to say pro drives, pro category. And then we have the bottom half of the B, and then the entire C, and maybe a little bit from the D, but I don't think, yeah. So bottom half of the B, and then entire C category, we can say, all right, you guys will be oh, there was an overtake. I think this is an overtake opportunity. Okay, let me just focus on this one. Musi gets the better exit, I think. Yeah, here we go, and gets the move stick. Let me see the corner. So everything is clean here, nothing to see, but it's just yeah, getting the better exit. And you can see Granty runs a little bit wide there. I mean, goes into the grass, but then 2 BMW guys, I think maybe just maybe there is a little bit of a team orders involved, I guess. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, yeah, a little bit of a team orders there as well. And then let's go up a little bit. The gap to yeah, from Musi to Timo is really huge, but I think it's gonna change. Everything's gonna change here. Everything's gonna change. Yeah, once you go to the pits. And then there's Ricky. A little bit of a gap to Ricky as well. Ricky and Scott, they are close by. I think myself and pardon me for switching the cars really fast. Just myself and Voodoo are still in close proximity, but we're not gonna we are absolutely not gonna swap any places. No, there won't be anything. And then Leadfoot and Presley, they are in close proximity, and then after that we have Scott and Ricky in really close proximity. As you can see, they are really close to each other. This is the closest fight, I think. I mean, me and Voodoo also close, but no, it's not that close because Voodoo already went for his pit stop, and then yeah, I'm yet to pit. Going to pit at lap number 52 myself. So let me see that, and let's see how it's gonna go down. Is the streaming going all right? Let me see. I mean, this is something I really love to do. Hold on. Everything is perfect so far. I think my microphone level is a little bit too high, and I apologize for that. For anybody who's listening right now, or well, I don't think a 2-hour video. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit more than 2 hours because yeah, there was a little bit of introduction was going on at the start of the race. I'll try to keep it to minimum, and yeah, I'll try to keep it to minimum in the upcoming races, because when there are like new drivers, we need to explain like what's going on with the league, and yeah. But anyway, I don't think actually Ricky is gaining any time on Scott here. He does not have enough pace, but Scott pitted at lap number 48, and he only refueled a slightly bit above halfway point. So he has like almost slightly bit more than a half a tank, so he needs to pit again. That is 100%, because there is no way from 48 to lap number 66 or 65 he cannot go with that half a tank. There's no way. If you refuel like 59%, I mean, for me it is like 13 laps, I think, something like that. But then yes, hold on, there was a switch. What is this? Hold on. When does this happen? Alright, here we go. What just happened? Oh, he got the penalty. Where did he get the penalty? I'm really sorry that I think. Yeah, it's the bus stop. It's the bus stop. Yeah, it's the bus stop. Bus stop. There we go. He goes a little bit wide there, and gets immediately a half a second penalty, and that opens the gate for me. I think maybe temporarily. Oh no, yeah, because this is now lap number 52. I mean, it's the worst time to happen, and half a second, it's not much anyway for him, because now the ultimate lap position goes a little bit wide because of the dirty tires, drifting a little bit. It goes to the right side, does the right thing. That is what we love to see, and he sticks to the right, and he sticks to the inside, and slotted behind me. Yeah, this is great stuff. I mean, honestly, this is great stuff. So from Voodoo goes to the right because he knows that I'm coming fast, and he doesn't want to interfere, because and I'm in a close proximity. So I mean, if you are serving a penalty, move to the right all the way and let the other driver go. And then here he comes, goes past me, and I'm entering the pit. While I'm entering the pit lane, and this will be our final pit stop for the team Porsche. And this is gonna give a lot of breathing space, for him. As you can see right now, we got lead for myself is still refueling. I think I went up to like 60 something, 62, 63. Here we go. 63% just coming out of the pit lane, and then it is Presley overtakes me, and this is myself coming out of the pits, and then comes Scott as well. I think he's gonna take the place, isn't he? I think yeah, because he has he's coming down from the turn one, and they're definitely gonna get the place back, and Timo goes into the pits as well. And then now it is between me, Scott, and Ricky. So let's watch Scott. I mean, I'm with the fresher tire, but then the colder tire as well. I need to get them warmed up. I mean, I wish there were more controls that showing what your tire temperature is in game. I mean, it could have been like we do have those indicators. Actually, yes, we do have those indicators, because if you park the car in your pit lane during a practice session for too long, you can see the tires. There will be a blue border line, a blue border around the track showing the tires are cold. Just like, you know, when you are sliding, it is showing a red border line around the tires, saying that the tires are getting overheat because you are spinning, going out of control. But I mean, it could have been a little bit better. We have crossed the 1.5 mark, 1.5 hour mark in the race. 1 hour and 37 minutes into the race. This is lap number 43. I think we are looking at another maybe 16 laps. Given the average lap time is 1:47, I can say, I can assume, given Voodoo is doing 1:46. He did 1:46. I think, yeah, the lap times are 1:47. They are like a second faster. So this is gonna be a great fight between me and not a great fight. No, I think the next one you're gonna see. You're definitely gonna see, and I'm gonna show. I mean, whenever I make a mistake, I just want to show that as well, because I also make mistakes. Yeah. Honest mistakes can happen, of course. We are just average drivers, and I try to keep it clean. I'm looking for a little bit of space there. I mean, we are racing in a close proximity, and I think I'm a little bit faster here, not too much, but a little bit faster here. But here's Scott with the Senna helmet. He's a Senna fan, and of course, overall he's been a great great driver with a lot of respect, but hugely defensive driving. And today, and not today, I mean on Thursday, there was something completely different. I think maybe there were some rubbing as well, and some rubbing and bumping from Voodoo, I guess. Voodoo, or I don't know, the other driver he competed with. So could have been a frustration. Of course, I would have been the same if I were in his shoes. Getting you can see there is a bump. There's a bump in his right right side of the rear bumper. You can see that clearly. There was a couple of bumps, of course, for him. Not that he spun or anything. And so I think that clearly indicates that there was some action took place. I mean, there were some bumps, of course. Not the greatest race in our season when it comes to safety standards. This is one of the chaotic races I think the chaotic race that we ever had. I think season 1 there were one race. I think it is either Laguna Seca or Le Mans. There were a couple of incidents that were reported before. But apart from that, we have seen the most incidents in this race that ever happened in our league. But then apart from those incidents, it was 99% a clean league, because that is what we are trying to do here. We don't want any daily races. We absolutely do not want any daily races, standard races, but even when it comes to endurance. I mean, if you want daily races, we'll be having daily races, right? Yeah, we'll be racing on daily races if we want those. But this is what we are trying to do here. And Leadfoot goes into the pits with his hard tires, and definitely, I think definitely he's gonna come out with a medium set of tires, or soft if he's really ambitious. I don't know, but I think it's gonna be a medium one, as I remember. As a lot of I had a bit of moment exiting that turn one, because BMW, I think this is the car that we run in Nordschleife track experience, and it's an oversteery car, so I had to run like traction control at 2. So yep, it's an oversteery car, there's no argument about that, but it has some serious space in that car. And then when you compare it with a driver like Scott, it's a dangerous combination. There we go. Still really close racing here, but I don't think like Presley. Where is Presley? Presley is slightly ahead of us, and Voodoo is in a different realm altogether. And so this is our final stop, and I was suspecting that Scott was having another stop, and I think I am correct, because I'm correcting that regard, because I remember him going to the pits. So anyway, this is really close, goes to the inside. I think, yeah, there was a little bit of a rubbing, but there was clean overtake, and gives space for me. Scott left room for me, and then I overtook him, and then turn one I goes a little bit defensive, but Scott goes to the inside. Oh, there was a little bit of a overturning from my side, and then at the exit I think I turned a little bit more, I think go sliding sideways, and got a little bit frustrated about it. But then again, I looked into the replay, and then I realized maybe I could be in the wrong for this one. This is on me, right? So then okay, we have Ricky with the half a second penalty, and then I got back onto the track, and there was a little bit of a damage and a lot of frustration. But then at the moment you cannot say anything, you're just racing. So but then what I did was, since this was I think this is one of the biggest incidents. I think this is the biggest incident in the race, and that involves me. So first I thought Scott was at the wrong, okay, but then what I did was I took the clip, I took the video clip, and I took it to Reddit, to the sim racing stewards, the experts, of course. They are not the expert, but I can see, like, I can listen to what they say, right? I can listen to what they say about their opinions. So I've taken the clip to them, and 95%, let's say 99% of the comments were pointing the blame at me. So I'm always ready to suck it up and then take it for me. So like I said, our stewards are still investigating that. They're still checking that, people are busy with the real life stuff. So they're gonna make a final verdict of that. There were like only couple of comments that said I'm not in the wrong, but the rest of the comments said I'm in the wrong. So even I feel like, yeah, I'm in the wrong. I mean, there was too little space. I mean, the space was really a little. Space was not too much. I mean, I have not given enough space, I think, to Scott. But then at the moment of touch, I goes wide there for a bit, and then I turn in. I think I turn in a little bit harsher. That even makes it look like that I'm going to take out Scott, but there were no intentions. We were racing for a long time. There were no intentions to take out any drivers there. And then what happens? Yeah, I hit the back of his car. It's not that he's hitting back of the car, because now he's after that turn, after I goes a little bit wide after that the initial touch, he readjusts his line and then he goes straight into the curb, while I was thinking he's gonna go a little bit to the inside. So yeah, that was, I think, both of the incident, I think, points towards misjudgment of mine. And then I think once the conclusion, once the verdict comes from the racing stewards, which will most probably put the blame on me, that this is on you 100%. There's no arguments. I'm gonna apologize to Scott for that, just like I apologize Scott for the event that happened when he's going into the pits for the first time. So it is what it is. Yeah, there were no intentions to take out any driver on purpose. I don't think that is the intention of any of the drivers. On whatever happened, I mean, people are trying to get into gain positions and everything, but then some makes them look like intentional, and then some are too ambitious. Of course, I think this right here, the incident that happened from my side, it was too ambitious from my side. So anyway, we go racing again. We continue. As you can see that I'm at P4 now. Not that I was going to catch Voodoo in any way. it was not gonna happen, but if not for that incident, I would have been P3. That is 100% P3 with Scott ahead. I mean, he made a calculated move. It feels it was not even a late lunch. It was not even a late lunch. I cannot even say that it is a late lunch. He made a calculated move there. I think it is all right on his part. So nothing to say there apart from to apologize once the verdict comes. I mean, yeah. So anyway, we goes racing. We live. We live to fight another day. We learn our lessons on track. Live and learn, and Scott comes into the pits at lap number 59. I think this is going to be his last pit stop, and addiction Mr. Ricky gets the place at the pit stop, and I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna get the pit stop done, but the overtake done at the pit stop, but then I also does it, and comes Presley with a half a second penalty. I think he's gonna get his place back. Also goes fastest with a 1:45 with a soft compound, 1:45.793. I think this is a mega lap. I don't know about you guys. I mean, if somebody's watching an A plus drivers watching the stream for any reason, yeah, this, I mean, I don't know, you guys might have better timing. He's improving his time again. Once again, he goes 200ths of a second faster on his first sector. This is something I want to watch. This is something I definitely want to watch. Showing his true colors. I mean, he was struggling, I think, a bit with the medium compound, and yeah, and the harder compound. He went to harder compound again. But then oh no, I totally forgot that he has a half a second penalty. So it's not gonna be worth, is it? Voodoo goes to the pits at number 60 from hard tires. I thought he's gonna go, but anyway, for Presley it was a 3,000ths of a second. I think it was not worth it, but anyway, improvement is an improvement regardless, because he could have made some time in this section. The sector number 3. But yeah, Voodoo goes to the pit and comes out with the soft tires. I think he's gonna go for the fastest lap. I'm afraid, yeah, this is myself having a little bit of a romance with the wall. And then comes right after Ricky. But then Ricky was saying that he's on hard tires, but then by default his pace is pretty high, right? Yep. He has a lot of pace, and then I thought at one point, actually, I thought at one point that I could get to Ricky, overtake him. Yeah, overtake him, and then because he's on a harder compound, and I pitted late, and I'm coming out on a medium compound, so I thought maybe, just maybe, is that a penalty for me? Is it? No, this is a penalty for me. No. This right here is a penalty for me. This is gonna be a half a second penalty, 100%. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I crossed the white line there at the exit, so that is a half a second penalty on me. And I was full throttle, so nothing to blame on GT as well. And then I'm gonna serve the penalty right here. Okay, and then the gap increases again to Ricky. But then again, you know, I was hoping until that point, I was hoping that I could catch up to him, and actually I do catch up to him. All right, when it comes to pace, I seems to be having a tiny bit more pace to catch up to him. But then, you know, as they say, catching up to somebody is something, but then getting the overtake done is a completely different story. I think this is what it's gonna happen. We are at the last 8 minutes of the race, and this is as good as it gets. There were a lot of incidents happen in the race, and Swords are reviewing them, and I have my own opinion on them. It does not matter at all when it comes to the verdict, because stewards are gonna look at them, and they're gonna make the judgment. Tiny bit of an improvement for me throughout that sector, but I think it's not gonna help anyway. The lap time has set 1:45.793, but let's see what Voodoo is gonna do, because Voodoo is aiming for the fastest lap as well. So and I think is it Mosi also going to the softer compound, but I'm not quite sure about that. Yeah, let's go and watch. I think we have a little bit of a gap between each and everybody. I think everybody's pit stops are done at this point, and oh my god, that was a 1 second penalty, and Musi is not right behind of him, but 1 second penalty. 1 second is gonna affect like one and a half second in actual race pace, because you're gonna slow down and then it takes you time to catch up to the speed. So yeah, it's gonna cost you a lot of time at the end of the day. So here we go. Let's see. Mose is coming right behind him, and let's see what happens. Moves to the right of the track, but there was nobody there. But I mean, that comes naturally. I mean, that's a great sign. That's a great sign, a great respectful sign. I mean, you automatically, even there is no drivers, you just move to the right side automatically, instinct. I mean, that is how it should be when you're serving a penalty, like I said many times. And then Musi is closing up, and then the fight is now taking place between, let's say, Granty is so far ahead, and Scott is far ahead, and then Leaderfoot here, he's at P5, and lap number 63, and then we have Presley at P4. Presley is in a softer compound. I don't know what's gonna happen there. And then myself right at the back of that Ferrari, but I don't think I'm having any luck at all getting overtaken done. getting the overtake done, because you know why he goes so defensive very carefully. He knows how to defend because he's a much higher rated driver when it comes to pure pace. It's just the Ferrari. I think it's not working. Voodoo goes fast with a 145.497, gets the fastest lap of the race. That's 1 point. That is 1 point, of course. So he gets 11 points there. As you can see, I do not have enough pace to get past him. Yep, I'm right at the back of him, but he goes defensive in every turn. Every turn that he thinks that he needs to go defensive. So yeah, so this is not easy for me to get done. And then Presley and Leadfoot, lap number 64. Presley and Leadfoot are P4 and P5, and then I'm not quite sure because oh yeah, in the championship, Presley and Leadfoot are not included in the championship points because this is their first race, and so Scott gets automatically P4 in the championship, but not in the race, but of course in the championship leaderboard. Look at that, some great defending there, and I goes to the outside and I try to do like let's see if I can get a switcheroo, but I don't have any pace because the acceleration is too good, and then again I go side by side, but there is no point. I brake a little bit before my braking point, and then Presley comes raging behind me, and this is lap number 64. We are 3 minutes away from our finish line. 3 minutes away from our finish line, and it's almost 2 minutes now. 1:57:58, and here we go. 2 minutes, officially 2 minutes in the race. I mean, not officially in the 2 minutes, and we are entering lap number 65. And Voodoo, where's Voodoo? Sorry, you can see Voodoo is all the way half the track ahead of us. So this is pretty close battle. This is a pretty close battle for us. When it comes to the he goes defensive again because I don't have enough pace. But he keeps me at bay. He does know how to do that because he goes defensive, and then but for me, I simply Grandy goes to the pits as well, and I think lap 60, not lap 65, I think 66 laps, I think so. And then Mercy and Timo are really close to each other. Let's see this fight as well, because I'm not taking over. I think yeah, I'm not taking over Voodoo there. So let's look at that. And Grandy goes to the softer compounds with 2 laps to go, but I don't know. Maybe they don't know, maybe they knows. But here we go. Goes defensive to the inside line. It comes through, and then a little bit of a. Okay, that is a little bit of a. I'm not quite sure. Let me look at that again. I'm quite not sure what happened here. I mean, this is. I mean, that was a contact, right? That was a contact right there, and I'm not really sure about that overtake. No, not really sure. Gets the overtake done somehow, and yeah, I mean, it is a because the car gets ghosted because it is a contact, right? So anyway, I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, this is the final lap, and we go for 66 laps here in Watkins Glen's 2 hours of Watkins Glen, and myself, Presley, and Ricky. So everybody else behind that line are finishing the race on this lap. They goes only 55 laps. Here goes Scott finishes the race at P6, Lightfoot P5, and Mercy P7, and Timo P8. Presley goes wide to the wall. I think a little bit. I'm thinking he's gonna get a penalty for that. I think. Let me see. Yep, there we go. Half a second penalty. And but I think he's not. I think he's not close enough, and he's on a softer compound. I think his tires are completely busted right now. But for me, this is a fight for myself. I mean, to get the position, but you can see that he keeps me. He keeps me at bay for almost 3 or 4 laps. This is what it is about being a pro driver and being a pro am driver. I cannot get the overtake done, and I do lift here because I don't want to go inside the car and get the overtake like that. Yeah, because that is not what I wanted. And he slows down here for a little bit and moves to the right side and get the move done. I don't think. Let me pause the race here. I think he mentioned he ran out of fuel, but let's see if that's the case. Or he slowed down. Did he slow down that much? All right, I'm gonna turn on the race info right here because that is something that I want to look at. Oh, he has no fuel. Let me see that. He ran out of fuel, and you can see the throttle, of course. Here we go. He's slowing down. He loses that throttle, and that's a magical finish for me. That is something that I've never thought would happen. I mean, I was happy anyway with the P3 because as of right now, at this point in our season, I was like, I think maybe 1 point or 2 points ahead of Scott in the Drivers' Championship. So I just wanted to get ahead of Scott. That is my whole goal through the race, to get ahead of Scott. And yes, there were some incidents happened, yes, and involving Timo, and of course then there's uh, Voodoo's bump, of course, at the back of my car, and that is also a little bit questionable. But all the and of course, yes, the turn one event. I think in my opinion, as many of the guys have described, I think it is on me, completely on me. Uh, he had the whole curve, I think so, and then the problem was that I turned into him when he's side by side. So that is, I think that is on me. Well, I mean, I cannot turn just like that. But then when I realized that I've hit him, so I go to the outside a little bit. But then that's when that he decided to plant the car and then go for the little bit of a straighter exit, and then goes onto the curb, and then I was turning inside a little bit too much into the inside, I think. So that is on me, that I've hit the back of his car and unsettles my car, goes spinning. So I'm glad. I'm so much glad that it did not affect him, Scott, because that would have been a shitty thing to do. I mean, nothing is intentional here. So from my end, I think that is my mistake. But I'm waiting for Stewart's decision, for make them a decision, so then I can move along and then apologize. If it is my mistake, then I can. I think so. I think 90%, 99% of the time it's gonna be my mistake. But then I can apologize to Scott and move on from it and learn something from it, what to do and what's not to do. Because at one point, I mean, I knew that he has to pit, so, and I should have been patient. Just simple like that. Simply like that. And then this is something that I really loved, that he ran out of fuel, Ricky, and then I got P2, legitimate P2, because now Voodoo and Voodoo and Ricky in the points, right? Voodoo and Ricky in the championship points, and they have demanded that they're right to be in the championship points. And then I think admin have acknowledged them. Okay, you have raced 3 races, and they promised that they're gonna be on the next race as well. So yeah, so that gives me some breathing space. Presley and Leadfoot are not in the championship points, but they have the position there. So I mean that give me some breathing room because I am between me and Scott. Are there is Ricky between me and Scott's point. So um, yeah, and we give points like, I mean, the first place get 10 points, and then the last place get 1 point. I know there needs to be a little bit of a reshuffling of the points how we give it on the endurance races, because in the sprint race this works, that point system works. Even here it works, but then it needs to be, I think it needs to be like the Formula One point system, reward system. That is how you should do it, I think so, but that is up to discussion anyway. That will be on the table for discussion, because this is a 2 hour race. I mean, once you get first place you should get 25 points, and then second place get 18 points, right? So I think that is like for Voodoo, right here he gets a massive win. If you can see, like, we are at the start line and he's somewhere completely else, and this is given that the car was driving automatically and slow. And so these are the results. Let me get the official results. Addiction, so Voodoo finished P1. Myself, thanks to Ricky running out of fuel, I finished P2. And then luckily there were no contacts because of the ghosting. Luckily, yeah, it was because I was at the back and I was looking for slipstream throughout the exit, but I know I'm not gonna get it. But then you have to remember there was Presley also behind me, even though I didn't know that he got a penalty. So I was just focusing on my race against Ricky. So, but anyway, that was that, and then yeah. So third place goes to Ricky, and then Presley P4 with the Red Bull Lamborghini, and then Leadfoot gets P5, and then Scott get P6 at the end because of his pit stop at lap number 59 or 58. And then Mercy gets P7, gets the overtake done from Timo. uh, I don't know. It is up to those guys to decide. It is up them to decide. It's not up to me to decide. I mean, if that overtake is it an okay overtake? I mean, we are all friends here. I don't think like Timo is. I don't think is gonna fight for that anyway. But then it is up to them. It is not my call. So anyway, in official result, it is P7. Mercy gets P7, and then P8 it goes to Timo. Uh, so I think it is 3 points. Yeah, three, and yeah, it's gonna be 12 points for Porsche. That is really good for us. I mean, we are only 2 cars, while the BMW, luckily, I think Leadfoot were not. I mean, it's completely agreeable, because I mean you are participating for the first time, and we are already half uh, more than half races done. This is the seventh race that is done, so it is fine. I think by that standards, I think it is totally understandable, because he cannot because the admin cannot keep changing the spreadsheet every time somebody joins in, because we have a better strategy placed ahead for the season 3. Because if you want to be included in the championship, okay, and you have to register first. So that is a good step good step forward. So you have to be in you have to register for the championship, and once the cutoff is done, the deadline is done, we are done. We're not gonna amend the scorecards, and we're gonna prepare the scorecards, and then after that, the driver divisions are coming into the full effect in the season 3, and we're gonna rate the drivers, and we're gonna place the drivers in their correct division, so everybody has a fair fight. Everybody will have a fair fight for that, and then after that, of course, yeah, it's gonna be like 3 championships probably throughout the board, which is fine, because everybody deserves their own win at a I mean, short of the championship. So that is completely understandable. And then we have P9 Grandy. Grandy was on a controller, but the next race is going to be one of his strongest one. We go to Red Bull Ring, Austria, next week. I think next week, if I'm not mistaken, because there's going to be a mini battle of the mini championship where we race with the Mini Coopers. I don't know how many people will be there for that. Yeah, but so anyway, and then yeah, so that's a finale for that series. Let's leave it completely out of the chat as of right now. But I think if I recall correctly, yeah, the next one is gonna be Red Bull Ring, and then Grandy is pretty fast on Red Bull Ring, and there's no doubt about that. And then he's gonna get a fanatic wheel, so he's gonna be back on the wheel, and then it's gonna be a strong race. It's gonna be a strong race for BMW, and we just have to barely try to keep ourselves on the track. But I don't know, nothing. I mean, anything can happen. It's a 2 hour race. Anything can happen. There will be penalties. There will be people running wide or some incidents. I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be another chaotic race. I hope it's not, but yeah. It's gonna be a long one, so anything can happen. And then P10, it is Carlos, and then P11, it is Oscar. So great racing. I mean, for the most part, yeah, for the most part, great racing from everybody. And yeah, that is it for this video. And I will be streaming the next one after yeah, it took place. I think from the next one, I think the best timing to stream that right after the race. So I think I'm gonna do the streaming right after we finish, because from my time we will be finishing racing at midnight, and then after that I think I can take another 2 hours and then stream the race. So yeah, anyway, yeah, so we're gonna see what the steward's gonna say about the incidents, and we while we await the this to its verdict on that. But then anyway, it was great racing for the most part, and then not the cleanest race in our championship, but it was nonetheless it was a good race, and yeah. And we are happy that we get to see almost a full lobby, but then unfortunate that Andre was a consistent racer, even though he's an AM racer. But he's in amateur division, AM division, but then still he's a great racer. He's a finisher. I mean, that's what we want to see, from start to finish. You can race wherever you are, whatever your place is. And that's great sportsmanship. And then yeah, so yeah, that was really unfortunate that he we lost him. And then we lost Stefan Wutik. Uh, well, he's known for not finishing races, so anyway, there's no surprises on that one. And I'm sorry for that, but then that is the fact, too, you know. I mean, that's the fact. We are yet to see him finish a race. And then I think somewhere down the line we have lost Saif as well. This is the first time he's taking part. I think maybe it felt like too long for him. Anyway, good racing for the most part, great racing for the most part, and yeah, it is what it is as always. So that's gonna be it for the stream, and that's gonna be it for the race replay. And yeah, so we move on and to the round number 8 in our league, and it's gonna be Red Bull Ring for the next round. And hope you guys join us. Whoever watched this will join us on the next one. If you want to watch the race live on Timo's perspective, it is this guy right here with the flaming dinosaur, Rexy on fire. If you want to watch the race from his perspective, you can always join EnduroXperience YouTube channel, which I will leave a link below, and you can watch on his perspective, and he's streaming the race live every day. On every Tuesday as well, he's streaming the sprint races, and then of course he's streaming the endurance races as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. And yeah, I hope you all have a great week, and have a great weekend and a week ahead. Yeah. So see you guys then, and then everybody stay safe.